guys, Tiny One Badger here, and I bet you're wondering why I am in this set. Well, I stole this idea from Camelot331, so I'ma steal his set too. Mass Effect. It's the best game ever. Fight me if you disagree. By the way, artists, stick around to the end of the video. I've got a drawing prompt for you if you want to try it out. Let me tell you how I discovered Mass Effect. One day, I was swiping on Tinder and I matched with this guy. I asked him what he was doing and he said playing Andromeda. And I was like, Andromeda? That's the game with the alien porn, right? I looked up romanceable characters because, you know, I wanted to find out what wild creatures he could put his strange parts into. And I found this thing and she was a Turian. And I was like, they totally had a game where there was a dude one of those. With that image in the spank bank, I delved into the Mass Effect wiki and was like, wait, you can play as a girl? Like, I had never played a video game before where you could play as a boy or a girl that wasn't like Pokemon Crystal and up. I had never played a story-based game where you were a character that talks to people and you could choose your gender. So I dug through the collection of video games my brother had donated to me and I found the first Mass Effect. And I made myself. I made a very buff version of myself. And she was a redhead because no one plays as Blonde Shepard. She's stupid. But like, as I played, I was enamored. Shepard's dialogue was the same as the male character. Her armor was identical as well. I had never played a game like this before. And I was never really good at shooters, but I enjoyed myself and I died twice on the first level. Some gritty space marine, man. Literally, I'd never played a game like this before. My favorite thing about Halo was those terribly written books. I was in over my head, man. Growing up, my favorite video games were Sonic, Kingdom Hearts, and Sonic 2 Battle Adventure, whatever string of words that game was. And all of these games had one thing in common. They were story-based games where you played as a male character and the female characters kind of took a backseat. There were 2 female characters in the Sonic games. Not including Cream, because no one includes Cream. And why are they wearing clothes? No one else wears clothes. Why do they get clothes? I mean, the rest of the games had better female characters, but like, I didn't wear dresses as a kid. I liked the manly characters, and playing Mass Effect kind of gave me what I wanted as a kid. I remember being a young girl and not really wanting to be a girl. Because even though I loved video games, I related to the male characters a lot more than I related to the female characters. I wasn't a meek damsel in distress, and I certainly was not a hot sexual icon at the ripe old age of 9. I related to Sora, like the little short-haired pretty boy, and like the adventure lust of a child. I related to that in the character. Thinking back, the best playable female character from my childhood was Okami. And she's a dog. I had never played Tomb Raider or Metroid as a kid, but I would argue Metroid doesn't really count because you didn't find out the character was a female until a lot later. And when they started implementing actual characters, she was kind of terrible. But Mass Effect was the first game I ever played where I wanted to be the female character. As I played, I noticed certain tropes never showed up. I got the choice to kill off the male love interest, and I could date a chick who was not happy when I left her for Garrus. Male characters treated Shepard as an equal and a friend, never hitting on her or patronizing her. Fuck you, Light. There was never a moment where I felt like she was catering to anyone. Honestly, because she was written as a man. Shepard and Femshep had to have the exact same lines, or else there would be a lot of awkwardness involved with coding the game, so her lines had to be what the male counterpart would say. Through the entire game, I was floored. This was the game that I wanted as a kid. I wanted a female character whose main attribute wasn't the fact that she was a woman. She wasn't a damsel in distress, she wasn't an independent, strong woman who didn't need no man, she was just a person! I went out the next day and bought the rest of the games in the series, completely enthralled. I had fallen deeper into this game than any other I had ever played. It made me want to seek out other BioWare games, and I'm super interested in Dragon Age because I think I'll have the same experience. But the game also made me realize that not a lot of other games have the same feel. Certainly some have come out like that, but recently in video games I've noticed female characters being written to be better than men. And that's not what I want. I want equality. That scene in Avengers made me realize what I don't like about people writing what they think women want. None of those characters had really interacted with each other at all. None of them were really friends, and it was a completely artificial interaction just to pass the Bechdel test. Which I think is a dumb test to begin with, because most days I don't even pass it because the only people I talk to are a dog and Cody. And both of those are men. I didn't do any research for this video. I just sort of wrote what was on my mind and what kind of trends I noticed. And in this day and age, we focus a lot on our differences. Race, gender, height, wrist size. But Mass Effect is a game where I played as myself and wound up dating a freaking prawn with a puppy dog face. My brother romanced Tally, and you don't even know what she looks like. Spoilers, she looks like a photoshopped picture of a model. Somehow, in a world so full of stereotypes and archetypes and types, Mass Effect cut through all the bullshit. It became a game I would have loved to have discovered sooner. It engaged me. It made me care about an angry alligator to the point where when I saw him in the sequel, I kind of like grabbed my controller and squeaked a little bit. Here's a kind of fun Mass Effect story. I did not have a good time with college. Come to the end of my last semester, I was missing a lot of extra credits that were integral for me to graduate. I tried my best to get this ironed out on my own, but I was working a full-time job, I was stretched thin by overdue commissions, and I was a full-time animator student on top of that. And if you think animation is what you should go into if you don't have free time, don't do that. That's a dumb idea. To get this straightened out, I had to talk to a teacher I had literally never met before. I walked into his office, tearing up, just ready to beg for my ability to graduate, and we talked about due dates and makeup work, and I noticed he had a little Garrus figurine on his desk, and I mentioned it. And then we talked about the game, how fun it was, how the ending let us down, but the ending of the second game was one of the best we'd ever played. He actually wound up waiving a lot of what I needed, and it really helped me out, and I kind of thank Mass Effect for helping me graduate this year. I have a lot more to say about the role of women in video games and all of the BS that comes with that and all of the stupid opinions I think get flung around, but I can honestly say Mass Effect gives me hope that I didn't have before. I remember how much media harped on Mass Effect for having bumping uglies in video games. I found one reporter that called it sexist. And the man that she was debating shot back, you can play as a female character, and the reporter said she had never played the video game. It's a funny interview, I'll link it in the description. I think it's funny that so many people judge books by their cover, and I had judged Mass Effect by its cover, because I remember being so much drama about the fact that it had a boob that you barely saw in it. But it's genuinely a wonderful video game, and I think any video game that puts you in control of the character and makes its story of equal value, whether you're a man or a woman, is a video game you should check out. Games like Overwatch and A Hat in Time, like, give me this sort of hope that you can have a story-based game where you don't have to play as, like, a buff, grizzled space marine. Like, I want to play as a black dude, I want to play as an old woman, I want to play as a dog! You limit your video game choices when you make it just a buff, grizzled man. And the thing is, I still like buff, grizzled man games. The Evil Within is a freaking phenomenal game that I think you should play. But I think that there's a lot of stuff you can do with the video game genre, and it's cool to see how it's been branched out and what's changed about it. And I think me being able to have this conversation, me being able to say, I am a female, and this is how I feel about female in gaming, and without feeling like I'm trying to tell men that they're terrible, because men aren't terrible. Nobody's inherently terrible. Let's just get that right out there. But anyways, this is a long rant, and I'm not sure it made a lot of sense, but Mass Effect is one of my favorite games. And I'm sorry if I just pulled you into my mantra of females in gaming. Let's talk about that now. Maybe I pulled the wool over your eyes there, but it was genuinely one of those games that I wished little baby Hannah would have found, because she would have accepted herself a lot more had she found it earlier. Anyways, that's my rant. I don't even think I ended it properly. I hope you guys liked it, and this is something that I've been wanting to do. So I had an art class that would give us a word, and we'd have to draw what the word made us think of, and I thought that sounded so fun, so I wanted to do it in my videos too. I'm gonna give you guys a word, and I want you guys to draw what that word makes you think of. It's kind of like Sketchtober. You can do it in any media you want, and all you have to do is draw it, and then send it to my Instagram, TinyOneBadger, and I will put it at the end of my videos and show you guys what I did with the prompt. So, I don't know, maybe if you guys are interested, that'd be kind of cool. And the word that I want you guys to work with is safety. So yeah, do whatever that word makes you think of, and I hope you have fun with it. Maybe try it out, branch out your artistic stuff. So yeah, send that over to my Instagram if you do it. If not, that's cool too. Whatever. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and bye!